I've been covering Joe Biden a lot, and the reason I cover Joe Biden a lot is it's a deja vu to 2016. If you remember, the corporate media basically blacked out Bernie Sanders and elevated Bernie's old too, but elevated establishment, frankly, corrupt, uninspiring candidate in Hillary Clinton, who her strategy was to try and go for that, awesome moderate Democrat, that non-existent moderate Democrat that doesn't truly exist, but that's what she went for. So that was Hillary Clinton's strategy. Obviously, we know how that worked out. And Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton also was courting Jeb Bush donors when Jeb Bush got knocked out, and other Republican donors. And by the way, this is a super chat. So if you're feeling super, let us know. I also, if you're not on our email list, I also sent out an email earlier today with a direct push and a direct ask for you guys to give us a little jolt in our GoFundMe. So now we are just $216 away from reaching that $59,000. We are trying to fundraise to get out on the campaign trail now. So that includes, we're going to Miami next week to cover the first debate, so we'll be there. Hopefully, I'll get credentials to get inside the building and challenge Joe Biden's campaign people, Kamala Harris's campaign people, America's mayor, Pete Buttigieg's campaign people, and have a similar moment to the Donna Brazil action from 2016. But we need funding to do this and a lot more. So I hope everybody watching, I'm sure you've already donated. If you can spare a couple more bucks, go to that GoFundMe right now and contribute. $5 is the minimum. It really, really makes a big difference. So I'm covering Joe Biden because I see the same exact deja vu happening from 2016 to now. The corporate media is propping up a Republican masked as a Democrat, and this Republican is basically doing fundraisers with other Republicans while pretending to be, have values and, be the best to go up against Donald Trump. This is what I call, with the assist of Colin Tooley, this is what I call burying our heads in the sand. Colin with the amazing graphic. So there we have Morning Joe and his wife Mika upside down, heads buried in the sand. We have Donald Lemon upside down, head buried in the sand. We got Chris, let's get after it, Cuomo, head buried in the sand. We got, President Trump sitting in the sand. You got Joe Biden, head, body sitting in the sand. And then you have Bernie Sanders standing tall and righteous. This I will be using a lot because the corporate media has its collective head buried in the sand and up its own behind. Oh, you're right. That is Jake Tapper, not Chris Cuomo. What would I do without you, TB? What would I do without you, TB? And I asked Colin, I gave him the people to make, so I got it wrong. But Chris Cuomo's head is buried in the sand too. But that's Jake Tapper. And poor Colin, he sent me this 3 times, and I kept sending him like, well, can you try this? Can you try that? I'm a real pain in the butt. So everybody's head is buried in the sand. Meanwhile, Joe Biden, I really wanted to try to crash his fundraiser, but I couldn't do it today. So Joe Biden last night had a fundraiser with a bunch of Republicans. Honestly, I wish I could tell you I did so much research to find the information I found, but it's pretty easy to find nefarious things about the people that Joe Biden is hanging out with and raising money from because they're just corrupt, and it's very easy to find. So let's start with last night. So Joe Biden hosts a fundraiser at the home of James Thanos. James Thanos is a big short seller in New York. Short selling is one of the biggest things in Wall Street. He's a multi-millionaire. Maybe a billionaire, I don't know. So Joe Biden went to James Chanos's $34 million apartment on the Upper East Side of Manhattan for a soiree. Well, Democratic frontrunner Joe Biden on Monday appealed to a billionaire Republican donor, so there were Republicans there, for fundraising help in his presidential campaign. But the financier, Trump-supporting New York supermarket magnate John Catsimatidis, I think I pronounced that wrong, declined. Biden spoke to Catsimatidis, who has an estimated net worth of $3.1 billion, for about 10 minutes at a fundraiser held at the New York home of short seller Jim Chanos, according to the businessman. When Biden asked for his help, I just smiled, Catsimatidis said. Catsimatidis, who owns the New York supermarket chain Gristidis and ran for mayor in 2013, had praise for Biden, but he's sticking with President Donald Trump in 2020. Catsimatidis was an invited guest to the Monday fundraiser and did not contribute to Biden's campaign to gain entrance. Quote, I think Joe Biden is the most common sense nominee of the 23 people running for the Democratic Party, he said. Monetarily, I did not commit to helping him, but I will help him brotherly on my radio show and with all my media contacts. Well, you just wait to find out who Joe Biden's new brother is. Catsimatidis' decision to stick with Trump despite his goodwill towards Biden demonstrates the stranglehold the president has on the Republican donor class. Biden has claimed that he received encouragement from GOP donors. Quote, an awful lot of people have offered to help, and the people who are usually the biggest donors in the Democratic Party, and I might add, some Republican folks, Biden said in February before he launched his campaign. He also said repeatedly he is open to working with Republicans in Congress if he becomes the president. Chanos, according to reports, said the evening brought in nearly 180 guests. Donors contributed $2,800 to gain entry. People familiar with the Chanos donor retreat and other Biden fundraisers set for Tuesday in New York said they anticipate the events to bring in a total of at least $1 million. The Tuesday fundraisers will be held at law firms Paul, Weiss, Rick Fine, Wharton and Garrison, and Weitz and Luxembourg. So, John Catsimatidis, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, is scum. He's scum. But before I get to him, thank you, Chris Wynn, $2 in the super chat. Pete is America's mayor. PFT, Bernie is America's dad. I guess you don't get the sarcasm, Chris. Of course I don't think Pete is America's mayor. I think Pete is an empty vessel. He is Obama 2.0. Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Ugh, thank God he's on stage with Bernie, because Bernie is going to outclass this man. So, Joe Biden, and by the way, I'm not covering Biden for my health. There's a point. Because if you want, and if the corporate media and if the Democratic Party want 4 years of Trump, then running, I'm not even going to call Joe Biden a Republican light anymore. Running a Republican against Donald Trump is the fastest way to get 4 more years of Donald Trump. Because Joe Biden, he's not hiding it. At least Hillary Clinton tried to hide it. At least she tried to hide her private speeches where she, blew kisses to Wall Street bankers and told them, oh, you're just being misunderstood. Oh, your role in the financial crisis, that's just being politicized, Joe Biden isn't hiding it. He actually is inviting in some press people to these lavish fundraisers. Let me refresh my page. Hopefully it's a little better now, because I was seeing some distortions in the stream, which I don't like. So, let's see Joe Biden, who at this fundraiser at a $34 million apartment. Talk about make America America again. Joe Biden's doing fundraisers at apartments worth more than most of us combined will ever make in 10 lifetimes. Let's see what the former mayoral candidate, big-time Republican donor, let's see what he had to say. This is in 2012. Taxes are going to go up regardless, Catsimatidis said. What I'm afraid of is we shouldn't punish any one group, whether we're punishing people who are already wealthy, he said. New York is for everybody. It's for the poor. It's for the middle class. It's for the wealthy. We can't punish any one group and chase them away. I mean Hitler, punished the Jews. We can't have punishing the 2% group right now. That's right. Joe Biden is hanging out with those brave, patriotic Republican donors who compare raising taxes on the wealthy to Hitler sending the Jews to the concentration camps.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.